And welcome to Ridgecrest Talk, your latest edition of what's going on in the community and what to do in the Valley. I'm here with Mike Thornberry, who's representing the local archery group, Koso. Is it Koso Archery? Or?
Coastal Archery.
And we were just talking, it's a little similar in some ways to the hunting groups that use the rifles, but there's some differences too. And so we want to kind of, first of all, just talk about it for a while, but we also want to invite everybody out because we actually have an active group here locally. Mike, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what Coso Archery does here in the Valley?
My name is Mike Thornberry. I was born and raised in the Valley. I've been here all my life. Retired here, love it here, so this is home. And the Coastal Archery Club started off on the base about 25 years ago, and it used to be called China Lake Archers. And then when they moved off base, they became Coastal Archery at the fairgrounds. And so 6 years ago, we moved from the fairgrounds. We moved out to the Ridgecrest Gun Range and now have our own archery range.
That was in that big space behind the fairgrounds.
Behind the fairgrounds, yes.
The big hay bale there.
Exactly.
Okay.
That was their archery range.
I never made that connection that was the same group. I remember that over the years.
Yeah.
Now on the base, some of the groups go back 50 years, but there's just such a history here in the Valley of things starting on the base. Where did you guys shoot over there?
I wasn't with the group then. They shot, the last place they shot was over on the dry lake bed, just east of that.
Yeah, I lived up on what we used to call the top of Snob Hill.
Yeah.
And right on that edge there was an obstacle course for I guess the Marines back in the day.
I remember
and
that.
I can see out there, you have the horse stables and there's other areas that would be appropriate for archery.
And this was on the other side of the lake,
right,
where they had that.
And then now where are you guys located?
We're located on the Ridgecrest Gun Range, which is off of Brown Road. We're in the northwest corner of the range. We have a rather large archery range. We have a large shooting line, and our shooting line goes from 5 yards to 100 yards. And we have a walk-around targets, 20 targets on our walk-around that range from 5 yards to 68 yards. And we use that for competition shooting.
68 yards with the bow. That's quite a long shot.
It could be.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather probably try to be stealthy and get up a little bit closer to the game or whatever it was than 68 yards.
Yeah.
That's quite a shot.
Yeah, most archers won't take, when they're hunting, won't take a 60 yard. They'll take 40 yards or shorter.
Now, coming back to the Valley, I've been gone for a few years, and the first thing I did was I took my daughter out to the astronomy club, and that was out there going on Brown Road because you don't get all the lights from the glare in Ridgecrest. And so obviously that's a night event. You guys aren't shooting out there at night, are you?
No.
Okay, because that's what I'm starting to think. You got all these ranges out there. I want to go out there stargazing definitely during the day, but I was even wondering at night. So these events, typically you guys are shooting what, on the weekends?
Our range is open to members 24/7 if they want to come out and shoot at night, but I've never heard of anybody doing it. Members come out and shoot all the time. Practice is, the name of the game. You stay in shape. So the range is open to members 24/7 if they want to come out anytime. And there's usually somebody out there shooting just about any time of the day.
So if they want to come out and use the range, they just have to be a member?
Just have to be a member for that.
And that really could tie in off schedules. If you're working nights or something, you could come out in the morning, there's probably nobody out there.
Some people days off from Monday and Tuesday, and so it works for them to come out. So it works out. So we just leave it open to any members anytime they want to come out.
And that's actually a great thing that if you're here in town, you might go, huh? I didn't even know about this because it's all the way out on Brown Road, almost out to Inyokern.
Yes.
How many members do you have?
We're up to about a little over 100 now. 6 years ago, we had 10.
So it had actually dropped down a little bit.
It had dropped down. In fact, it was almost ready to fold up. Then the opportunity came to go out there.
It was getting ready to fold when it was over by the fairgrounds.
When it was at the fairgrounds. Excuse me. And the opportunity arose for us to go to the Ridgecrest Gun Range, and so we went out there, started off with 3 targets, and we've been very lucky to build it to where we are today. We've been real lucky.
Now I got 2 daughters, but one of them is very active athletically. Is that something that they can start as kids, or what's a good age to get started?
I prefer, of course, the maturity of the child is the biggest thing. My biggest thing is I'm 6 years old is the youngest I've done, as long as they behave and safe, because we have equipment for the youngers, and but maturity is a big part of it. But usually we do 2 weeks every year for the City Park and Recreation, and there I have them from 9 to 17.
That's like a summer program?
Summer program and a spring break program.
Oh, spring break also?
Yeah, we do the spring break week for them.
Boy, that's like some education for babysitting type.
It's babysitting, but we enjoy it. We have everybody who teaches on the range is a certified instructor.
Right. And,
So
and
they
of course,
do that.
my introduction to archery was up at Boy Scout camp during the summer, so it's kind of the same thing. I really enjoyed getting out in the woods. I wanted to stay out there on the archery range rather than do any of the other activities that were going on.
We participate with the Boy Scouts a lot. We help them out.
So it really sounds like it integrates well with the community. Now, most of us just think of shooting targets, but what else can people do with the bow and arrow? Can they go out there and hunt game, or?
They can hunt game in the state of California or whatever state they want to go to. We have some hunters. We have some people who just like recreational archery come out. That's their stress releaser to go out and just shoot, at a target. And some are social. We have a very, very social group of people, and they come out and do that. And and a lot of people, that's why we have the 3D targets to help individuals prepare for a good ethical hunt.
Right. So a 3D target, really, you're talking about a target in the shape of a duck. Looks just like a duck, basically.
Or a duck. We have two dinosaurs. We have a really huge dinosaur.
So if you ever come across a dinosaur, you're ready.
I'm ready for that dinosaur. That's kind of become our trademark for our club. Each club seems to have like a 3D that's their trademarks. Ours is our dinosaur.
Yeah, that's something I wouldn't expect. It's like I'm going to try to shoot the dinosaur. Huh?
That's our 68-yard target.
Well, I think it's big enough. Yeah.
He is.
I don't know if I want to get closer to dinosaur than 68 yards. Anyways,
Yeah.
I might take that back. We were saying, anything over maybe 30 or 40 yards, unless it was a real big piece of, like a deer or something. I don't think I'd want to.
We use that strictly just for the competition shoot. It's, put a little, make a difference. That one target can make a difference from somebody winning or losing.
Right. I think I first met you a few years ago at the Ridge Project had a fundraiser over there at the Kerr McGee Center, and we were talking a little bit about then. And it's good to finally get you to come onto the show. I've been trying to track you down a little bit. We'll talk more how to get a hold of you, but we do have some events coming up this weekend. We're going to talk about. We're going to go to break here in just a minute.
Okay.
And we want to talk some more about that. Well, I think we're just about out of time, so let's go ahead and go to break. This is Paul Vander with the Ridgecrest Talk, talking with Mike Thornberry from the Coso Archery. We'll be right back. And welcome back to Ridgecrest Talk. Paul Vander talking archery, shooting the bow and arrow with Mike Thornberry here in the Valley, Coso Archery, and we're talking about just some of the intro into the sport and into the safety a little bit. We wanted to talk about the organization. As far as locally, you probably belong to what, a national organization, or how does that work?
We're associated with the USA Archery, which is the Olympic people. We're associated with them as a.
So theoretically, one of the kids could develop all the way into an Olympic archer.
And we have one of our coaches is affiliated with the junior Olympic team. So we do have that connection.
So we'll be going off to Colorado. I think we had
Colorado Springs.
We had a guy around my age, but I think he might have been on the rifle team rather than the archery team. But either way, that's quite an experience to be able to compete at that level. Now, one of the things I was always thinking about is comparing different sports. And we've had the gun club in talking about the hunter safety. And the hunter safety, that's one of the areas you teach, right?
Yes.
And so what do you do for hunter safety? Is that like an hour thing? Is that a day thing? How does that work?
It's a 10-hour class to go through for the state of California.
So it's actually regulated in California?
It's regulated by the state of California Fish and Wildlife.
And are you required to do that before you go out, or?
You are required to take the class before you can acquire your hunting license.
Okay, so you get the safety class, then you get the hunting license. You can actually go out.
You can go out then.
And then, of course, they have what, certain seasons?
Everything's regulated. The seasons of the year,
Now,
when you
what's
go.
what's kind of a surprise? You know, I had a friend who was a professional volleyball player, so I'd always try to get the surprises. Like, you know, in basketball they have the behind the back pass.
Yeah.
What's the trick play in volleyball? And he would say, well, it's letting the ball bounce off your head and go in a different direction. Do you have anything like that? That's like special tricks or special things that people wouldn't think about in archery?
I think the biggest thing is what they call a Robin Hood. That's where you stick an arrow into an arrow.
Oh, that's kind of like the ultimate.
Exactly. Yeah,
It's like the hole-in-one in golf, right?
Exactly. You know, it's just.
So you get the arrow in the arrow. You just, I'm done. I'm walking off the course.
Yeah, it's through. Yeah, I think that's our big thing there is what they call a Robin Hood.
Now, do they ever give an award for that? Is there like I get a brand new Cadillac if I do a Robin Hood
No.
on this shot?
I'd be in trouble because all the years I've only done it twice.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, that would actually make it fun because even in the high school sports, they always have something fun to raise money. And one of the things I saw that worked best was at, I think it was Boron High School. It was a volleyball match, and they had taken it from, I think, Bakersfield State. But they had something where they hit the volleyball over the net, and if it landed on the pizza box, you won a pizza. And so I imagine you could have a lot of fun with things like that on the archery course.
The only thing that stops you is safety and your imagination.
Right, and so that could be a lot of fun. Now, we talked about you have these different events, but you actually have a big one coming up this Saturday, right?
This Saturday we have our anniversary shoot, what we call. We celebrate every year like a birthday. It's our 6th anniversary at being on the range, and we have a 20 target 3D shoot this weekend. We got some raffles. We got cupcakes, Valentine cupcakes, because it is Valentine's Day.
That's right.
So we got to appease our sweethearts.
Call it like a redneck date, but that would be the kind of thing I would do.
And we invite everybody to come out.
Take my girl out to shoot at the archery range.
And come out and, if you haven't experienced archery, come out and watch it. Come out and see where we're located. If your bow's in the closet, bring it out, dust it off.
What if you don't have any equipment? Can you come
We
out
have
and shoot?
Equipment that we will lend. We do have equipment.
All right. And then is it different age categories, or is it based on your skill level?
What we have different age levels for our competition. So we have the Pee-wees, which is 7 and under. Then we go from 8 to 12, 13 to 17. And then there's male and females in each class. Then we go from 18 to 60, then the 60 seniors, which is I am. So we have it broke up so everybody can compete against themselves.
Yeah, I'd imagine once you get into the teens, it gets pretty even as far as the ability level.
Every year we have each month we have a shoot, and we keep score points, and at the end of the year we have our club champions for each class, and many times we have to wait till the last shoot to see who's going to win it because it gets pretty close with each other coming in.
Now, surprisingly enough, my daughter, who's 8th grade at Murray with Coach Barnes, had actually come home from PE one day and said, hey, we got this great segment that we're shooting archery and PE. So you may have some budding archers that are ready at the high school level if they keep coming through the junior high school getting that segment.
Always glad to have them.
And that's all sometimes it takes is to get introduced. So if they were to come out on Saturday with no experience before and they were to show up, they would probably have their choice of either entering in a novice with loaned equipment, or they could just watch and ask a lot of questions.
We prefer they come out and never done it, because we like to give a safety lesson first, because safety is very important to us, and a little lesson on how to do it before we turn them loose like that. If they have experience, then that's one thing, but we're safe. We like to be safe.
Right.
So safety is our number one rule.
Yeah, it's the type of thing, one accident out of a year, that's one too many.
Exactly. And we've been fortunate. We've never had a problem yet. And I like to keep that record.
Right. Well, it's a little bit safer than some of the gun range. You hear the horror stories of somebody who's completely unsafe and doing everything wrong. So. But with archery, once you get it set up and it's safe and everyone understands the rules. Yes. One funny story, I did a few things as a teenager that wasn't the safest. I don't think I'm going to share the whole story there, but I had more than one eyebrow raised when I was out on the archery, and I loved. That was one of the most fun things. I'm thinking I might come out and join that.
Come out and shoot.
I know the last time you had a shoot, I was wanting to get out there, and I ended up getting diverted onto another project, and I couldn't get out before you guys were done. But now, what about people shooting at home? Is that something that's safe to do at home?
My understanding now is in the city, you're not allowed to shoot in the city any longer.
So if your home is in the city limits, then it says no shooting.
No shooting
because of safety.
Safety, because it can go through a fence, or it can go a misfire can go over in somebody's yard, And so
what if they're out in the county? If they're just
the
on
county,
say, 2.5 acres or something?
if you have a safe area, you try to keep within your boundaries of your 2.5 acres or whatever you have. You always want a safe shooting area, is what you want.
Right. Yeah, you got to think of the worst case scenario.
Exactly. It may not happen, and you hope it never does. But
yeah, you don't want to overshoot, and then oh, I hope that one didn't hit in the wrong spot.
Yeah, 'cause you hear it in L.A. all the time. Somebody shooting in their backyards, and somebody's dog gets hit, or they find an arrow in the tree or something. You know. So.
Right. And obviously, you're not having the contest where the guy puts the apple on his head, right?
No.
that would be. I think that's a Hollywood.
It is.
Hollywood type thing.
Actually, my introduction to originally the archery was, as a youth, I was watching a girl shoot an arrow in the air, which is something you don't do. And I watched it come up, and it came down, and it stuck in my head. So that was my introduction to archery, is being shot in the head.
That's when you decided you loved it, huh?
I guess it either knocked some sense into me or knocked some sense out of me.
All right, we're ready to go to break. We'll be right back. And welcome back to our last segment. This is Ridgecrest Talk, your host, Paul Vender. We're talking archery, and we want to be safe, of course, first, but this is really a fun family event that not only is great for the desert, but probably anywhere you live, it's somewhere that you can carry that on to whatever you're doing in life. Not all of us are here all of our lives, but a lot of us are here, and we come back, and it's something that you really look forward to as a family time. Now, this Saturday is an event. And let's give the real particulars to the people that want to come out.
This is Saturday on the Coso Archery Range, which is we're located on the corner of Wicknick and Brown Road, and we're the northwest corner of the range. We have our 6th anniversary shoot. We will have a 20 target 3D shoot, and we'll come out. It starts at 9 o'clock. Sign-ups are to 8:45, and we will be having games and a raffle and just a general good time. Come out and celebrate our 6th anniversary of being at the gun range.
Right, and actually some people don't get out on the Brown Road, that section there, but if you take China Lake Boulevard going out past Walmart, and as you come up to that stop sign, as you keep going straight on China Lake Boulevard, that turns into Brown Road.
Just cross the road and come on
right
down.
At 395, and you can take Brown Road all the way out, and if you keep going, you'll get to Inyokern, but probably about halfway.
It's about 4 miles.
The gun range and the Wicknick Road sign, and that's on the west side of the road, or a left turn, and that's where you're going to find it.
We're there.
And if you hit Inyokern, then you went too far.
Yeah, you passed.
And then the other way would be, of course, if you take Inyokern Road, which is basically the road coming out the front gate of the base, all the way to Inyokern. When you come to that, I think it's called the Inyokern Market, right at Inyokern Road, which is also Highway 178, and Brown Road, you would take a left and head back that way. Again, about halfway back, and it would now be on the right, and either way, there's going to be some activity. If you're going out there, say at 8:30, anytime between 8 and 9, there's going to be other vehicles going out there.
You'll be able to see where it's at. We're going to have it marked so people know where, if they need to come out and visit and check us out. Say, people don't realize that we actually have an archery range here in the valley. And I'm
well, even if you drive that road, you're not going to really
you
tell.
Can't see it.
Right. So. I've even looked, I haven't stopped. I don't think I have stopped there, but I have driven by and kind of looked, and you can tell there's a shooting range if you look over, but you wouldn't know that there's an archery range there too.
There is.
And so this Saturday is a big event, but then also you have another event in April. Let's talk about that for a minute.
April 25th is the Sage Family Days. This is an opportunity for everybody to come out and shoot all kinds of firearms, shotguns, pistols, rifles. There's no charge. The ammunition is free. The weapons will be there to shoot with, guns and rifles. We will be there, let you come out and try out archery, shoot, and we will have and certified instructors there to help you through. Come out. It's a good time. There'll be food there.
Yeah, what's that environment like? Is it like a tailgater event where people bring their RVs out and there's lots of food and barbecue, or how does that work?
For the competition, when we go to competition, it can be a tailgate thing, and everybody's trying to outdo each other, having a good time. I
Is it
found
kinda
most
like
archers.
bring your own food and everything, and everyone brings
They do
their
that.
own get up?
But this at Sage, we will have food there. Barbecue will be. They do it.
That's the big annual event.
That's the big end of it. And ours, you just come out. And, we will have cupcakes, like I said. So we can treat your Valentine for a snack if you want to bring them out as a Valentine's Day.
Have you had any proposals out there?
Not yet.
That could be an original story.
That could go.
All right, so we have the event this weekend, which is Valentine's Day,
Valentine's Day.
which could be in the morning. You could still have a romantic dinner.
We will be done by
movie or
11,
something.
11:30.
Okay, and then we have April 25th, which is Sage Days, which actually ties in with the whole range, which has the rifles and the pistols.
Has everything, and it's just an opportunity to come out. It's held at Sage Pistol League, and they're down there. It's actually about 2 miles from where the archery range is.
All right.
And
Now,
so
how do people get a hold of you if they want?
They want to get a hold of me.
information?
They can get a hold of me at our website, kosoarchery.com. And if they want to find out anything about the club, we have a website with all our information on it.
Right, I think I've looked at that a few times over the months.
So,
is there any other archery groups in the area?
not in this area. There's not. No.
Okay, so if I wanted to travel and visit another group, they have them, like, say, up in Inyo County? Or?
They have Bishop has a group. Lake Isabella has a range, but most of their members are in Bakersfield, and they come to Kernville, and they have 2 big shoots a year.
Okay, so they have a range, but the majority of the group is the people coming from the city to get into a rural area.
Get into a rural. Then
that makes sense.
Then down by Victorville, there's a couple of groups down there.
Okay, so there's actually
there's if
quite a
somebody
few.
wants, and not a lot of distance driving to do. So
right, and then let's just summarize the courses the types of courses that you could teach. You can have a hunting course that you said was 10 hours?
Yeah, that is done through different groups. We don't teach it on the range. We teach it here in town.
Okay,
So
but they could find out when that is through
the archery. I can let them know, or they can, or desert, Sierra Desert.
Now, if someone gets real serious, like they want to be an Olympic archer, then you actually have classes for that.
We can do lessons for that. We can do that, and we do lessons for anybody who just wants to learn to shoot. 99% of our shooters are just, recreational shooters. They just enjoy, it's a let out. They enjoy shooting. It's just to come out, and like I say, we're a very social group, so it's a visitation time too, and so it's just, it's archery is an individual sport. So
right, and that's one of the questions, because you stereotype. I know the Frisbee disc had been getting a lot of ladies to come out and play that. Now, what about the ladies being involved with archery? Are you getting
very much so? In fact, one of our level 2 archers is a lady, and she's very qualified to teach.
So they're leading the way, and
they
guys
are
trying to keep up, so they don't get too embarrassed on the course, which is good for a little humility now and then.
And there's no macho on the archery range. Everybody's an archer.
Right. So. I know I'm always humbled. Anytime anyone beats me, the first time in the military when the ladies were running faster than I was, that was a little humbling. And I think it's good for everybody.
And there's some ladies out there who can shoot.
I think that Super Bowl commercial said something like to do something like a girl.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a phrase where in the past you might have laughed about, playing sports like a girl. But nowadays, look out.
Well, the equipment is so well designed now and everything, anybody can pick it up and use it. With a little practice and a little proper training to get you the right way, anybody can do it.
So regardless, if you got a kid like a girl who needs to come out and shoot like a girl,
that's right.
She might be an Olympic archer.
You never know.
And show everybody. Or if you're a retiree, if you're a senior citizen, this could be a new activity to get you out, get you a new outlook on the outdoors. Or if it's a family, just bring the whole family out.
Exactly.
You might get one who loves it, another one who's not so interested. You never know.
You never know. And so, what we try to leave out there is a safe spot for people to come out and shoot. That's our goal.
And I think that's the key in the desert. People complain about not anything to do, but Koso Archery right here in the Indian Wells Valley. Yes. Mike, thank you so much for coming on. Ridgecrest Talk, have a great evening.